Join Cycling is the #1 training platform for your cycling needs. Flexible and adaptive training plans, a huge library of workouts. You can get a 30-day free trial through the link down below, no strings attached, to see for yourself. But today I witnessed something I've never seen before. In all the time I've been watching cycling or covering cycling, this was from Bastogne to Amnéville. We finally go into France in the fifth stage of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, 152.5 kilometers long, a hilly stage that was likely to end in a sprint with an uphill kick. Loes Aardegeest was in the breakaway, Royakkers chasing her. And there were some attacks behind with Charlotte Cole dropped in the green jersey early, so she's not going to get any intermediate sprint points, where Marianne Vos, who's 50 points adrift, could pick up some, and at the finish indeed. But Fem van Empel and Julie van der Velde bridge across to Loes Aardegeest and form a really strong trio up front. Visma Lease by a good strategic position because they got Vos in the group behind who can win the uphill kick. They got Fem van Empel in the group ahead, so it's up to Movistar to chase. They got Liane Lippert, who's won a stage like this. SD Works wanted to go for Wiebes, not Vollering or Vash. They got Guarichi on the front, pacing with Majerus alternating. It's Lorena Wiebes that they were going for. It's like 600 meters, 5%, but the final 150 meters or 100 meters is flat. So it is going to be a flat sprint, and Wiebes is much fitter this year and last year than previous years. But there's these rolling climbs where Movistar make the race really hard, I think, with Gutierrez, and then they come off the gas, and then on the flatter sections, it's again SD Works Pro time pacing, but their break had 1:43. It was looking pretty good until Baril and Movistar absolutely sent it into the longest categorized climb of the day, like 1700 meters, 6% with a false summit, the Côte de Montois-la-Montagne, with also bonies at the end. But the problem is they run out of numbers. Well, not really a problem, because after Franziska Koch attacks, with the gap down to 45 seconds, which is still a big gap, Puck Pieterse, I don't know if she was going for QOM points or the bonies at the end. Maybe she just wants to smash because she felt good like she did in the other stages. It didn't make tactically too much sense, but she rips into this gap. Mavi Garcia says, hey, that's my role in the women's peloton, is to ride on the front with the peloton in my wheel. She alternates. Riolini was on a gap. Bredevold comes back. Vash was gapped. So it was a super hard pace. Fisher Black begins to pace with those groups returning. Vollering's in the group. Vos is still there. And Bredevold starts to pace because the brake's still not caught. Loes Aardegeest, as I said, very strong. Did the TT of her life in Rotterdam the other day. But here's the tell. Again, Blanca Vash is pulling, alternating with Bredevold still. They are going for Lorena Wiebes in this finish, which, again, it's fine. Wiebes can win from this finish, and she's, in fact, on the wheel of Demi Vollering, number 7, just in front of Puck Pieterse, with about 8Ks to go. That's her position in the peloton. And we come into this roundabout that is quite tricky for the peloton to navigate. I think they get really surprised, actually, by how it tightens up. So it looks like they're going through, but then it actually, as they exit the roundabout, it sharply goes left again, which I don't think the riders would have known about. Sharply goes left, and a lot of them were trying to run straight where that yellow van is. They would have thought they'd exit there, and they go too quickly, or some of them make a handling mistake in this corner, over brake, and Demi Vollering, I'm trying to zoom in for you as much as possible. She's in the yellow jersey. A rider's going to make a mistake ahead of her, and someone's going to bump their bars. They crash, and then there's a ricochet effect. I think it's Wiebes on her wheel. Now, I can't tell exactly, but Wiebes was on her wheel before the roundabout. It is a pink-looking jersey. I think it is Wiebes on her wheel, and Vollering's about to save this. She's holding it up. She's going straight. She's a good bike handler. Pfeiffer Georgie crashes really hard, unfortunately, and that rider to her left, I think it's Wiebes, not confirmed, hits Vollering's bars and causes her to crash, and she doesn't slide. She goes splat, straight down, which is the worst way to crash, and really hurts her left hip. You see her stretching her back out. There's blood coming out of her left hip. Pieterse went down as well. Sharon Van Anrooy, I think, caught up. Hopefully Pfeiffer Georgie's okay. She had to abandon the race. And this just turns into something I've really never seen before. You know, thankfully in the men's tour this year and even last year, we haven't seen this before the 5K zone. SD Works Pro Time, they've seen her. They know Demi's there because they're trying to bring a bike out to her, but her bike's okay. I've never seen the yellow jersey crash and basically have no teammates drop back for her. Like, And that's what happens. So the team car knows she's crashed. You've got the breakaway still ahead. I think Fem Van Empel saying she's caught, and Canyon SRAM, I'm pretty 99% sure they knew that Vollering had crashed. That Niewiadoma tells Dygert to go on the front and absolutely send it, which, is fair enough. All's fair in love and war. The game's the game. I thought some of Niewiadoma's comments after the stage were a little bit distasteful, frankly. I think she should have just owned it because, as I said, I probably would have done the same thing in her position. There's no need to obfuscate around it. But here's the biggest story. It's not Canyon SRAM pacing, which is their right to do. It's Blanka Vas is in this group. Not necessarily the favourite. She's probably the favourite for a top 3 against Lippert and Niewiadoma, but she's left in this group, the Hungarian champ, with Dygert pacing, and that's justifiable. You don't know what condition Vollering is in. She might be really banged up. You can win the stage ahead. I guess I understand it, as Emma Norsgaard, who also, she said after the stage she defied team instructions to try and help Lippert win the stage. She launches at the base of the climb to try and put the others under pressure. The team car, she said, told her to drop back for Meyerling, who's their GC contender, who lost a lot of time. Faulkner attacks, and Vash is not going to make the same mistake as the Olympic Games road race, if you watch that, where she let Kristen Faulkner go. She's on her wheel with 500 meters to go. Liana Lippert's the one who's going to kick first. Niewiadoma gets her wheel on the wrong side of Faulkner, and Vash has to go the long way around out of the draft, whereas Vash was in the draft, slots back in to Niewiadoma's wheel, and then kicks out on this little uphill kicker. So not that hard a finish. Lippert just went a little bit early because normally her kick is stronger than Niewiadoma. She made it into a 30-second sprint, which Blanka Vas wins. Her biggest win of her career, the Hungarian, big talent. She showed how good she was on Montmartre last week. But again, the biggest story is that group behind, way behind, 30 seconds behind. They know the riders in this group that the riders ahead are winning. They know with maybe 1K to go, they're not going to win the stage. There's teammates of Vollering in that group. Lorena Wiebes is in that group. This Lorena Wiebes, the Lorena Wiebes that Demi Vollering helped to win Amstel Gold Race, but she choked it by celebrating too early. The same Demi Vollering who selflessly helped Lorena Wiebes in the Paris Olympic Games road race last week. And Wiebes says, you know what, I don't care. She said after the stage, I saw a yellow thing on the ground and thought, meh, Demi can make it up in the mountains. I got a sprint for 8th place on this Tour de France stage. Just shameful. I've never seen anything like it, honestly. To me, this is way worse than, Froome and Wiggins maybe getting gapped a little bit on a climb back in the day, or Contador and Armstrong in 08. The way they left Demi, Bredevold tried to help, but she was already gassed from chasing. I hope Vollering can come back. I hope she's not too badly hurt. She did the last K pretty quick, so I think she'll be okay. Fingers crossed. Blanka Vas wins the stage ahead of Niewiadoma, Lippert, Faulkner, Norsgaard, then Brandt, Kerbal, Wiebes, Vos, Muzic round out the top 10. But in terms of GC, Vollering loses about 1 minute and 50 seconds to Niewiadoma. Huge ramifications. Because of her TT, she's only 1:19 adrift. Faulkner moves into second. We'll see tomorrow. Vollering said on Instagram, watch out for me tomorrow. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. This Tour de France is heating up. Lots of drama. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you with the video tomorrow. Ciao.